Hello, I am FeedBackGaming, and I play games in unconventional ways with unusual strategies and sometimes exploits. And here we are, in the mountains. But what mountain range? A nation that went into exile in World War II. Part of Scandinavia. No, not Denmark. It's not Iceland. It's Norway. 1930s Norway. The calm before the storm. You got invaded in 1940, didn't you? This is Hearts of Iron 4, where you do play as a nation in the 1930s and 40s and create your path to success in the Second World War, or an ahistorical scenario where maybe World War II doesn't happen, or maybe the bad guys win. Oh no. And what is the unconventional strategy today? Well, I was going to go Norway in exile, play the most historical Norway. I'm all about kind of playing the strategies that are kind of no one plays because, I don't know. I want to see if Paradox thought about that. But then I scrolled to their focus tree and I saw this. Crush who you say? This guy? And if that didn't demonetize me, well, this bonus will. Check this out. War goal against the German Reich. Nice. But check out that bonus. You get a 40%, 4-0 attack bonus against Germany for 2 years. 2 whole years of unlimited damage against Germany. Normally, I would say this is too far, but remember, I'm Norway. I'm a minor power. My potential is limited. So if I'm able to take advantage of this bonus and use it within 2 years, then it's definitely worth. Plus, I get one against Sweden. And plus, I get one against Denmark. And plus, I also get one against Stalin as well. Nice. Before we dive in, I've got something important to tell you. I want you to be safe online. VPNs, have you heard of them? I've been trying a VPN recently, and I don't want you to miss out. Surfshark. With Surfshark, you can access content from anywhere in the world. And no more, this video is not available in your country nonsense. Just click on virtual location, boom, you're in. Plus, Surfshark keeps your data safe from hackers and snoops online. Listen, I'm talking to you, Zoomers. You care about your security with your 30 virtual machines, 20 firewalls. Well, how about you get rid of all that and just get on Surfshark? Your online activity is encrypted, so no one can spy on you. They'll not know what you're up to. Not even your internet provider. And the best part? You can use this on as many devices as you want with only one account. Your phone, your laptop, your tablet, all protected. Surfshark. Use the link below and get 4 months extra for free, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's a no-brainer. And thanks for supporting me. You are keeping this channel alive. Let us begin. The resurgent labor movement. Vote for labor. Select all the divisions apart from one, and we are going to play the one division trick. This will gain us an insignificant amount of XP, but it will also cost us a tiny amount of equipment. So in the long run, it's kind of worth it. It is an exploit. It is an oldie, but it's still a goodie. Let's build some mills in the south, and let's work on the standard. Yes, it is the trifecta of wrenches, girders, and semiconductors. With that, convoys is your primary currency. Guns is next. Let's go. 5 speed. Here we go. Without any overseas territories, well, that's not quite true. You do have this. Don't forget about this, because if you ever go into exile, this will come in handy. The people of Norway are waking up. They have well and truly taken the red pill. And now you've got the choice to either side with Stalin or side with Trotsky. Trotsky gets all these fantastic war goals, but Stalin is kind of just, I don't know, playing kind of tall by having the Soviets help you out, which is kind of cute too. Maybe we'll do that another day. But for now, prosecute the NKP. At the start of the game, it's going to be more worthwhile if you sit on political power, so don't spend it for now. Trust me, there's nothing that you really need. Trust me. Next up, we are going to go the seeds of the revolution. The left path is all about building the revolution. The right part is consolidating it and then going on your little war path. And if you believe you get to the bottom here, you get some juicy bonuses too. You become the new Norway. Oh, wow. The old one is just so old and out-fashioned, but this one is new. Oh yeah, you've got a navy too, so we'll merge those boys up. Will we use it? Probably not, but it is a nice little token navy. That's the hard part of Hoi 4. If you have a small navy, there's not really a lot you can do with it. To kind of have a navy that can have a worthwhile impact, you need a certain size for it. I know that's a bit of a well-duh moment, but with a small navy, you get in one battle and then it's pretty much done. You either contest the major powers at naval warfare, in this case, don't. Oh, by the way, building anything with Norway at the start of the game is a nightmare. Civilian economy, that's pretty bad, but then the hard 30s. Poor little Norway. Beat a little man when he's down, eh? Seeds of the revolution. Then we're going to go for all these three. In this circumstance, we'll go for nationalization for the civs first, but you have to do all three anyway, so it doesn't matter. Now you get to spend points building your revolution throughout Norway. My advice to you is building everywhere apart from one location, because that's where all the divisions are going to spawn. And in that circumstance, that's beneficial to you, because that means you know what you're going to have to pin down and lock in. If you go for this one state, it'll be an easy win for you. Easy. Disperse industry. I told you, this opening is so unbelievably standard. So what you need to do is the farmers and the workers rise. And for this, you need to have a total of 8 support. And we're currently 6. So we're not that far off anyway. My advice to you is build as much support as you need. And you are rewarded with war support as well. So it is worth it in the long run. So it's not a net loss. And political power is giving you war support, which I personally think is worth it. Yes, yes, yes. Develop again. Organize the partisan militias. Allows training of communist militias in states through the rising of the proletariat decisions. Wow. Press 1 in the chat for communism. Go to 1, followed by cement mixer. Told you, this opening is pretty standard. Boom. And again. Got the option to go for Trotsky, so I'm going to go for Trotsky. He, unfortunately, is not very good to begin with. So this is official now. We have now said that we are our own version of communism, not this kind of communism. And as you can see, the Soviet Union does not like us. A very bad opinion of us. Stalin mad. Trotsky has joined our government. Organize. The militias. War. Voice of the people. Communism. Political power. Boom. 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 Is this almost the last one? Boom. We might as well finish all the states up to level 3. This one. And there's just 2 more. We'll do as many as we can. Hey, this is definitely worth it. As you can see here, we're gaining a lot of army XP, but we're not actually getting most of it from this one division training. The vast majority of it is actually coming from this dude. He's a defeatist. He's rubbish. He's very bad. However, he gives ticking XP, which is really, really good, since you don't have to spend political power on that. So that's pretty good. Okay, finish up. 1, 2, and then the final button you have to press is some communist propaganda. You lose some stability from this, but it is worth it in the long run. At this point, you just sit around a bit, click the button. This will give you a bit more communism, enough to select the next focus. Machine tools. Hey, Dave, that's pretty standard. So you can see now the 3 states we don't have is the super north, Lapland, and the super south. 2, 1, and boom. The workers and the farmers rise. The ground is laid, the seed is planted, and the fire of the revolution is about to be lit. Sounds like the start of the Olympics. Light the torch. Okay, I'm going to spend a little bit of my power, proper heritage, and we'll make a big fat horse division. You know how this works, right? The horse is free because you've gone for the proper heritage. And proper heritage does give other bonuses as well. It's not just about horses. And it gives a reduction of supply penalties in core territory by 20%. And also cavalry attack. Wow, dude, I'm learning all new things here, you know? Sometimes you play this game for so long, you forget about all the bonuses anyway. Boom, big horse. Change to the big horse. Boom, big horse. This is the one division trick. It's not as effective as it used to be. And to be fair, as Norway, in this scenario, it's really not that effective overall anyway, because we're going to have to delete this division anyway. This will cause a civil war to rise up, and it will be done in 15 days from now. So to be fair, we're better off kind of deleting this division, and then kind of respawning what we need from there on in. 3, 2, 1, get rid. Boom, the revolution. And as you can see, the nation states in question that rise up is going to be the capital, as well as this southern territory. So be smart about this. So assign them, make front lines. Assign them, make front lines. And your leftover divisions, yeah, there's actually quite a few. Assign them, front lines. Same with these 2 in the north. Assign them, and front lines. Straight away, you want to assign a general. We're going to go for Trotsky because he's actually pretty good. Ooh. And top it off, we'll get a field marshal. This guy because he's an organizer, which we can later become a logistics wizard. Don't mess around though. We want to go for consolidate power. Do it immediately. The civil war doesn't even have to be over. All right, be very careful what you do here. It's important that you do all these the right things. Go to like 3 speed. Or 2 speed in this case. Wait for the game to unpause. Control B to railroad them to the front line. Then attack with the battle plan and go aggressive. This means that those front lines will be closed down immediately. And that way, you can immediately seize the land you need straight away. All right, we'll go 5 speed now. Grab Oslo. Don't actually know where the divisions are going to spawn, actually. I think they may have spawned in the north. I think they probably didn't have any spawn. And there we go. Norway is now a communist nation, the People's Republic, and all my divisions disbanded. Because that communist militia is just for that specific civil war, and then they disappear forever. We have to hire this guy because he gives ticking XP, and it's something you just desperately always need. All right, now we're in a situation where we need to make a proper army. And in that circumstance, we're going to hire lots of horse. As many horses as we can. Now, this is actually a decent division because it's got some good girth to it, to where it can actually survive in combat and do some damage. And it's got speed, taking advantage of the cavalry bonus. Of course, it's not permanent, but for now, that will actually be pretty damn good. All right, we've got quite a few broken factories. I think we might be better off fixing those. And we're going to shift all the civilian factories to the top. And they've completely destroyed our nation. Those communists destroying their own back garden? Why would they do that? And we can merge up our fleet again. And off to 5 speed. Okay, so we look on the market too to see if there's any opportunity to buy guns from anyone. If you want to buy guns from people, you usually have to buy it from the UK. We can improve relations. And that'll give us market access. And there we go. We got market access. And do we have anything to buy? No. So we're really quickly rushing our way down here to go for this, which is the reawakening the permanent revolution. And you can see here it gives war goals against all of Scandinavia, as well as Finland. Aha! I didn't include Finland in Scandinavia now. Everyone in the Scandinavia getting really annoyed that I include Finland.
Well, Dave, technically, Finland has ties to...
Don't care. All right. So we get justifications, and we get a stability bonus whilst at war, which is pretty good for us early on. So we're going to squish dissent. Dissenters not today. Stop improving relations because we're losing political power. We can mobilize for the economy. Is the economy important? Do we care about the economy? Or do we care about manpower? This is a tough one because there's some tough decisions that need to be made. And plus going for this guy early to gain stability and political power is usually a good one too. There's a lot of balls we've got to juggle here to get the right decision. I'm also going to train my dudes for as long as possible so I don't have to train them and lose guns on the battlefield. It's best to train them here than to train them on the real map because that costs you equipment. Equipment, as you can see here, is in short supply. Machine tools is done. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of a shift towards artillery. Not immediately, because we need to make sure we get the deficit of guns down. Once again, getting everything just right with this strategy is really important, because if you don't get it all balanced perfectly, it doesn't go well. Okay, we're gonna go for extensive conscription. The reason why we've done that is you won't gain the manpower immediately. Can you see this? It slowly is ticking up. Can you see this? Ooh, ooh. See, look, the number's ticking up. So it doesn't tick up immediately. It's based on your war support. So your mobilization speed, where you get war economy immediately. It's strange that there's not a mobilization over time for your economy. The economy mobilizes instantly. You press the button, done. But the mobilization of manpower doesn't work like that. Anyway, reawaken the permanent revolution. With that, we're also going to some basic support weapons for the breakthrough and the defense. We're going to make sure we hire a naval guy and put him here and here. Okay. There is one part of this I've forgotten about. I have messed up here. And we need to go for transport ships. So you don't have the ability to make a naval invasion as Norway. It's weird, isn't it? You've got a navy. You're a seafaring nation. But you've not invented landing craft, which is really bizarre. So we have to wait 140 days regardless. So this is not really going to matter for the time being. Deploy the boys. Boom. 31 divisions. Fresh boys. Deploy immediately. Put them in Oslo. Exercise to level 3. We do need, though, 1 division to naval invade Iceland. Paraguay decides to join our revolution. The Northern International. There's just a part of me deep down inside that feels really cursed because of that. You know, that feeling of like, that's not right. Okay. All right. You guys go to Oslo. And then right-click on the port. This is a real thing that a lot of players don't really understand. If you move a guy from one port to another, all they have to be stationed at is a port to begin with. So if you right-click on a port and they're not going, it's because they have to be at a port first, and then right-click on that port. Does that make sense? Okay, we're going to go start rearmament because it gives mills, and we need mills desperately right now. We need to catch up with our economy. So right now we've got 34 divisions. We could do with another 16. We are still going to X everyone to level 3. Add a field marshal. Off we go. At the same time, we'll make a field marshal front line here. We're not going to do it immediately because there'll be supply problems in the center. So exercise them here is more worthwhile, where if they're here with low supply in the center, they'll take more attrition and lose more supply and not get to level 3 as quickly, and it'll be a waste of equipment, which is not worthwhile. All right, Trotsky, head of the main army. Then we have number 2 Boyo invading Iceland. You know what? He'll be unassigned. And then the other guy, it'll be him. Can we get another general? And he is this guy. Generic boy. I feel like I've seen him before a few times. Okay, we're in a position to mobilize, so I am going to do that. War economy. And we actually have a pretty healthy economy going now. So I'm going to queue up a bunch of mills. Mills is what we need because we need the guns. Because it's the size of the army. It's the biggest problem. But you can see now we have war goals in everyone. And you can see everyone is very, very angry with us. Why would we do a revolution? Why would we invite Trotsky? Why would we have the idea of declaring war on another nation? Barbaric. And we're low on steel now by how much? So as you can see now, we need 8 steel, but we're only got 7. And you can see if you hover over this, you can see that the lack of steel is incurring a penalty of 1.2% production to guns, which is very, very small. However, there's a hidden stat here. Something hidden you're probably not aware of. Production efficiency. Can you see the red bar right here? This indicates how effective the efficiency is of this said production. And the higher efficiency is a net gain to production output. However, if you do not have the amount of resources required, this will not go up as fast. So it's an additional penalty on top of the raw production output. And can you see that amount there of 0.131? That amount would be higher if we had the resources. However, it's such a small amount, it's not even worth bothering. If it was at 10% or 20%, I'd care about it. But that amount is so unbelievably small, it's not a big deal. It'll probably become a problem when the next mill finishes. But for now, I don't care. All right, Myos. You know what I always go for? Production. Then I go for the raw soft attack. Raw soft attack. Breakthrough. Hard attack. Piercing. Breakthrough. And defense and hard attack. So the key ones are soft attack. Early game is the most effective. But then production efficiency is quite useful to getting raw output, which I always am a big fan of. Start rearmament. And then we're going to go kickstart the industry for another 2 mills. And as you can see now, when we hover over this, you can see now the production penalty is 7.5%. So now we're reaching the point where importing a little bit of steel is going to go a long way. And we'll import that from France. The reason we choose France, by the way, is you can see there's a land connection. You can actually see it. You can follow it. Ooh, here we go all the way. And Paris. You can see here, if you look really closely at that little dot, there's convoys and there's a dash. That basically means it requires no convoys because it is a land connection. Transport ship is done. So we're going to make a naval invasion now from here to here. So what I'm trying to do here is do a naval invasion that only uses this sea zone and not this one. Now, landing into Reykjavik is perfect because that caps Iceland. That's what we want. However, if we attempt to wrap around, we might be in another naval zone, and therefore we might not be able to get naval supremacy. Then the naval invasion won't even start. So in this circumstance, just keep an eye on where the arrow goes, and you'll know what land you need to have your ships in. Soft attack is important because war is imminent. You must prepare. Those who do not prepare to win, then prepare to fail. Deploy some more divisions, send them off to here. We're going to make a front line here, but we're going to hold shift to make it a field marshal front line. And then we're only going to go to here, and then we're going to ignore the rest of the north. It hurts me to do this because I'm losing key resources and a few factories. That is painful, but we will get them back. But by making the front line narrower, we can concentrate more of our firepower. All right, we're up to date with guns. So now we can start making some artillery. And then we can start working on trucks. And then we can start working on trains. Look how I've ordered these. So I still want to produce guns because I don't want to lose the production efficiency. But I've put the majority of mills onto what I need immediately. And then I've queued up the rest because I know I'm going to get those mills soon. Another one in a second and another 2 when I finish this focus. So I'm kind of planning ahead for the future. I'm thinking about what my next steps would be. I think I want to make this division just one little bit bigger. Exercise that to level 3 and then catch up with the guns. That just gives it just a little bit more firepower to actually make a big difference. All right, send the king back to Denmark. I always think Scandinavia is kind of a funny nation, you know, because you can't tell if you hate the Swedes more or if you hate the Danes more. What do we hate? The economic power of Sweden, the big boy, or do we hate our old overlords, the Danes? Please vote below who you hate more if you live in Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, or Iceland. Please vote now. More steel. Import it from France, of course. Next up, we are going to add on artillery. which adds a massive amount of soft attack, doubles the amount of soft attack the division can have. And once again, once you've already exercised it to level 3, they won't lose much XP, so you won't lose much artillery. It's about mid-maxing the training in-game. More Mayos. Production. Soft attack. Oh, they've got an extra bonus for AA. We'll go for that one too. And the rest is plot work. More factories. Infrastructure. Mills. Yes, mills is so useful. Gonna need a few trains here. You can press the magic train button, which is probably going to be worthwhile. See this one here, 15 trains. You lose a bit of stability though. In this case, we're already above stability by over 100%, so we didn't lose any stability, so it was worth it in the long run. Okay, cancel that front line for Trotsky. You can join the front line now. Off you go. You can now click on motorized priority 1 tick and see if we need trucks. Yes, we only need a handful, so we're doing well there. Can we buy from the market? It's always good to buy a few guns. That's good. We're basically going to spend 3 civilian factories for 1 delivery of guns, and it's 349 guns from Mongolia. It's not a big trade, but you know what? It's just enough to keep us going, you know? There we go. Catched up with motorized. We're slowly catching up with guns. Gonna rush to Spurs 3 because raw output is important. We're gonna go for the politician. Stability and political power. Yes. More mills. Yes. We'll assign those onto raw guns. Then we're gonna need more steel. The classic juggling of mills in Hoi 4 is classic, isn't it? The classic. And then we'll go for ahead of time memes with construction. We are in a good position now. I feel good to go. I'm feeling a little bit anxious because there's a big one we're going to chunk off now. But do you know what the next step is going to be? Are you ready? Put your hands together. This is where it gets ugly. Boom. Naval invasion. Activate the battle plan. Make sure you go aggressive. And here we go. Declare war on Denmark. Declare war on Sweden, Finland, and Iceland. We have a bunch of enemies. Old enemies, old friends. Depends on the way you look at it. Boom. And off you go. Activate naval invasion. Off we go. Denmark immediately surrenders. We're going to basically say no to that. Denmark makes me laugh. You're not even contributed. I'll have to make an actual battle plan here. There we go. We're actually moving now. Oh, we're just completely slicing through them because I'm not putting troops on their front line. Just go. Top it off as well. We're going to go for local police force as well as the big horse division, and we'll put medium priority for garrisons. In fact, no, low priority, because I'm more focused on winning the battles than I am about taking care of garrisons, and which you'll see later on why. In fact, I've just had a change of heart. I don't care about garrisons at all. There we go. He's gone mad. He has actually gone mad. Finnish snipers putting fear into the hearts of our soldiers. That's pretty scary. Hunt him down. No, we're not going to do that. And to top that off as well, we're about to eat Iceland, and they've left Reykjavik empty. Be aware of this. If you surround Reykjavik and they've got 1 division there, I don't think you're going to be able to break them. So just be aware of that. Meanwhile, Denmark landing behind us. That's very nice of them. There's Denmark. Top that off as well. I am going to put my navy back to here and put them on strike force. And the reason why I'm doing strike force, we can project naval supremacy, which denies naval invasions for other countries. And of course, situations like this is very, very annoying. Boom, Iceland's gone. So we have 1 out of 4 done. Boom, the White Death embraces us, losing manpower and war support. I just don't care. I just don't care. Okay, now we have to take out Sweden. Now, Sweden's a difficult one to take out because they're a big nation with a lot of victory points spread out over a very long area. I say that and I just walk into Stockholm. I don't think this is working as intended, boys. Malmo's about to fall. Yes. Boom. I think that might be enough to cap them, actually. If not, I'll just make sure I very quickly grab those more northern territories. Once again, micro here as I'm just moving troops around to try and avoid getting myself encircled. Once again, the south, Rue Denmark. And it's quite tricky this because there's like so many front lines you've got to juggle. Okay, moving here. I'm checking if... Yes, they've left Copenhagen empty. Denmark, what were you doing? That's actually kind of funny. Okay, we'll leave you guys here. Leave you for the time being. We can always come back to this later. Artillery is improved. Improve the artillery. We've lost a bunch of mills because they were all in the south. That's okay, though. I'll come back to that. In the meantime, I see open front lines, so I'm just going to right-click and move into it. There's a lot of small micro with this that you have to pay attention to because you're going to put yourself in a situation where you're going to get encircled if you're not careful and you don't achieve your goals. And of course, achieving our goals here is the main objective. And there we go. Sweden is eaten. Don't forget to take them and also take their navy. Their navy's pretty chonky. It's important that. Now you've got a really scary navy. At the same time, Denmark's made a mistake by landing on us, so I'm going to make sure they pay for that. Okay, everyone else, go here. Meanwhile, Trotsky, I'm going to make a big counterattack here. 3, 2, 1, and off he goes. We break through the center as well, to the north. I think we might be able to. Now, breaking this part of Denmark's difficult because of the strait penalties. And you're using horses too, which suffer from bigger strait penalties than normal. So you might have to rely on a naval invasion for this and also be aware of getting encircled as well, which can be a problem. Can they break them? Can they break them? Is it possible? We can probably also do a naval invasion support, which does a little bit of shore bombardment that would help us out in the long run too. So, naval invasion. There we go. Move you guys back to the homeland, the main islands, the main locations. Finland is encroaching, which is annoying, but we've got bigger fish to fry. Once again, we are slowly breaking them. They're very low org, but it's a hard one to break that. Merge up the fleets. Broke the south. Grab the ports. Remember, when you've got the ports, these areas are now secure, so you don't have to worry about them re-pushing into these locations. Once again, breaking here is the hardest part. Can we do a force attack? I don't usually do force attack, but this might just be an extra damage and make all the difference. Oh, there we go. That's the reason why this isn't working. The naval penalty is 99%, resulting in practically no damage, less than 1 damage. So this is the point where we need to think about moving on to actual proper infantry. In this case, it'll be something like this. In this case, I'll grab all of Trotsky's army. And Trotsky's army is now going to wait and then be converted to the bigger infantry division. And we're struggling with guns again, as you do. And we'll also make sure we motorize priority an extra step, which we do have the trucks for that. We do. However, we desperately need the steel. And we're probably going to be better off getting that from the UK. One issue we've run into is that we're not holding resistance in these locations. And the reason why we're doing that is because we're going to core this territory, so resistance is not a big deal. And there we go. We have secured these key locations now. And now they don't have access to a port, and they are encircled. So just keep attacking. We will break them eventually. Keep an eye on resistance, though. F6, and you can see the resistance. Don't want to let it get too high, because then it becomes a massive problem. I think the right way of doing this is going to be a naval invasion to here, 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 and here. It's lucky that we broke Copenhagen here, but we need to get into the main part of the landmass. Otherwise, we're going to be stuck. And that's it. That's the end of them done. And you, on the other hand, now are going to be in this location. After, when you've broken... There we go. Meanwhile, Denmark just walking around me as they do. Trying to do a naval invasion here. It's not going quite well because we've been intercepted, but that's okay. That's what happens. That's why our navy exists. And we managed to land, so it's all good. There we go. Breaking every avenue now, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, we're done. Once again, holding shift and right-clicking to break the key locations that we need it. And 3, 2, 1, and that's the end of Denmark. Don't forget to take their fleet. Very important. Take the fleet. Take the fleet, Dave. Boom. All right. Delete all the front lines. Field Marshal front line. Go here. Then you want a naval invasion onto Helsinki. Only going to be 6 divisions, but everyone else is going to go onto this front line. We're just going to prepare for this now and catch up with our guns. We desperately need steel. And we can get that from the Soviet Union because that does not require any convoys. All right, we've catched up with guns. We need to catch up with artillery now. Manpower is the biggest concern we've got right now, which is something we will work on. We'll come back to. We can go for ideological loyalty for ticking manpower, which is very, very strong. But we're about to hit the biggest jackpot on manpower very, very shortly. I just need you to be patient. Calm down. We'll get there. I promise. Boom. Navy. Boom. Naval invasion support. We don't need any of these locations. You have to hold shift to cancel these naval invasions, by the way, if you're not aware how to do that. We're going to develop into Turkey. No. Boom. We're in position. 3 divisions to Helsinki. And that'll probably make it 6. This is going to take us 52 days. So we'll just plan the attack for the time being. There are some gaps in the front line. And you know where I'm going to say, right? That's right. There's gaps in the front line. So you might want to take advantage of them. Just walk into the front line. Like they're wearing nothing at all. And shift right click in on the key victory points. The key point here is to cut off here and then also grab the port so they can't get supply. They're the 2 key things you want to do. The biggest issue we've got right now is we're so behind on manpower. That's the reason why the strength of our divisions is so unbelievably low. But remember, we're Norway. There's not a lot we can do about that. It is what it is. Naval invasion is commencing in a few days. 3, 2, 1, and there's nobody there. Now, the one thing that really sucks about Finland is that the nation has a lot of victory points. I'm going to move everyone over. Everyone's going to join the party. The good news is that most of their factories are locked into this region, so just come into this location and just move out. Infantry specialist is so essential for this. Boom. Top it off. I remember I'm not selecting focuses. That's a big mistake by me. Let's go for expander, which gives attack bonus with this one. I love you, Norway. Norway is my city. Myos, the ships. This feels kind of pointless, really. I'm just going to queue them in a random order. The only one that really matters is that production one right at the bottom. These are desperate times, lads. We have 0 fuel. We have 0 manpower. And we're pushing every front line, but not making any gains. However, this is definitely a good part of history for Norway. Oh, I realized we've got this. Embraced by the White Death. Wow. Minus 10% attack penalty? Wow. That's actually really strong. I thought those little war support penalties were just kind of like the main impact, but it turns out it does a lot more than expected. I'm learning. Learning history through computer games? Madness. We're focusing on soft attack and artillery damage. Win, win, win. There is a reluctance for my troops to attack sometimes, or sometimes you just have to give them a little push. And once again, you know how it works. Don't we beeline to the victory points? Here, 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 and here. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. So they're reluctant to attack. You usually have to activate the plan and deactivate it. Right-clicking on the victory points too, because they're reluctant to move, probably because they don't think they can win. Remember, the AI designs how that works. Finland is still holding on. Don't like this because we're going to start to lose divisions here because they get low strength. Improved weapons, which just cancels out the White Death, and all those victory points. Paradox, what were you thinking about adding so many tiny victory points? I suppose this makes sense for the Winter War, but for everything else, it's kind of a bit weird. Off you go, off you go. The capital is there. And then we check here, 82%. They're so far away. They're one of these nations that you have to basically take every single victory point. Which, honestly, I don't like those kind of nations because it feels less strategic, you know? At least with France, you feel like you've got like an initial goal you can go for. And it feels really worthwhile to achieve that goal. When you're just kind of like hovering all across each individual tiny patch of land by gobbling up the tiny victory points. I don't know. It just kind of feels less strategic, I suppose. But I do like in a way that the nation does work differently. Can you say that? Can you see that I hate it and I also love it? I'm going to make a bunch of front lines and attack and just see if we can get some movement on the front lines because no one's moving at the minute. There you go, 100%. Finland has been eaten. Take their navy. Oh, mamma mia. Look at what we did. Trust me, though. We're not done yet. We are going to form the Kalmar Union. Then, immediately after it, we're going to proclaim Nordic unity. Why can you do both? I don't know. Then we're going to repair the mines because Sweden was naughty boy and destroyed all the tungsten steel mines. Very naughty. And then that's it. Boom. We have the most awful flag. What is that? What is that? No. Please. We actually have a decent navy too. Lots and lots of coastal defense ships. We have the most coastal defense ships of any other nation in the world. Amazing. Anyway, everyone back to port. Don't forget to repair if we need to. And then look at this massive army that we have that is undersupplied. But remember, this is all cores now. So you know what that means? It means we gain a ridiculous amount of manpower. And the manpower has come flooding back. And that's it. We're back in business, boys. The Nordic Socialist States. Amazing. And of course, we gain all the civs and the mills because they're core territory now. The world is your oyster now. What do you even want to do? But you are a major power now. You can contest the Allies, the Axis, the Commonwealth. You are now one of the daddies. Type in the comments, I am the daddy. And cancel the steel imports. We don't need steel anymore because we've got it all from Sweden. Resistance is an issue, but it is very, very quickly dropping down because compliance doesn't matter. Because remember, it's all core territory. We can search for weapon caches. Is this an actual real thing? It is. Which actually causes compliance and resistance, but it's core territory, so it doesn't matter. We just kind of ignore that and hide it. Radio propaganda. What's the propaganda about? We're winning. We're actually winning. You know, we don't have to pretend we're winning. We're actually really winning. Boom. Done. So line artillery is a very controversial decision. I think the sweet spot is one piece of line artillery, which is the best sweet spot between stats as well as equipment usage. Where if you go in for one extra, I feel like you get diminished returns. That is the current meta at the moment. However, people say it's better without it. Personally, I'd like a little bit more extra stats and a little bit extra loss of equipment. But hey, listen, you do you. Train, 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 train. And we're still mobilizing. I believe we have more manpower options too. So we go on manpower and filter the focus tree. We have manpower in other parts of the focus tree. Prepare for war gives 10,000 manpower. Nice. Crush Stalin also gives manpower, which is something that's probably going to be on the agenda for later on. And that's it. Okay, so there is no more manpower. For some reason this one says it gives manpower, but there's not actually any manpower here. Paradox. Bug? Much? Bug? Much? Kind of strange that we've got communism. We've abolished the royal family. We've dismissed them to Denmark. Then we annexed Denmark. Where is the royal family? But we do still have the ability to do the royal guards. Italian. Not so royal anymore. Well, that's not true. We can't actually do it because we're communists. There you go. All right. Bonuses. We can basically give the finger to Germany. Prepare for war. And get lots of freebies. Once again, this focus tree is awesome. The bonuses are just bonuses, yeah, and they're actually really worthwhile bonuses too, so it feels really good to go for them. I think what we're going to do is we're going to remove the artillery for now, train them to level 3, and then drop them down. Be aware, we have 2 enemies now, you know? It's going to be Germany, which is going to want Denmark, Norway, and also we've got the Soviet Union to the east too, so we are going to be on a 2-front war situation here. Is it possible I can hold over this 2-front war? Find out on this episode. Have FeedBackGaming plays. That's what I'm for. Also, anti-air is something that's worth doing. Usually 1 line of anti-air is normally worth it. Boom. We're almost repairing the mines. The mines were damaged in 2 locations. I believe it's these locations. You can see it here. Destroyed mines. This one too. And these locations contain quite a lot of steel and tungsten and chromium, so they're worthwhile repairing. It's a way of sabotaging if someone invades you. I did invade you. We're also going to go for an agency. Deploy a bunch more divisions. You guys onto the front line. Manpower is still a little bit low. Okay, there is a solution. We're going to go from problematic defense minister, which reduces doctrine costs and also makes civies build faster. Figure that one out. The doctrine of civilian factories. And then we're going to go for this good old familiar chestnut. Professional officer corps and mass assault. And go down the right side to mass mobilization. Fortunately, though, we are still too low on manpower to do that. So I'm still going to delete a few divisions because I've gone slightly over my quota. To delete another 4 of those. S-pills for the agency. You need 6 upgrades to get +1 spy. You need at least 2 spies for the spy agency to be effective. So that's why I need to get at least 2 spies. Worker armies. Nationalized hydro plants. Is one of the things in the game. This exists nowhere else. But there's a industrial concern that you can go for as Norway that just gives aluminium. Where does it actually come from? Are we pulling it out the ground? I don't bloody know, but here we go. Here it is. +10 aluminium. Also gives civilian factories. Does that mean people can trade with you? You know what? I actually don't know if they're on the map that you can trade with them. I actually don't know. But top it off, if you go for this, it doubles the amount of aluminium you get. So 20 aluminium just appears from nowhere. That's right, just nowhere. It appears out of the thin air. Go on, someone give me the history behind that in the comments. I bet someone does know. Okay, Germany has declared war on Poland. Now, I feel like in this situation, I need to prepare for war. So I'm going to stop the hydro plants. I am going to go for proactive defense by going for attack. The best form of defense is attack. I believe that quote has been repeated by many people. Elusive Gentleman is next, which gives an additional 1 spy to make spies actually worthwhile. S-pills, army department's also a good upgrade to go for. So even when you unify Scandinavia and Finland, you're still in a situation where manpower isn't that great. It is what it is. Unfortunately, Scandinavia is not really highly populated, unfortunately. Spy. Holstein. Also another good spy upgrade to go for is localized trading centers, which means you can build a spy network 25% faster. What does the spy network even do, though? If you hover over it when you're in a spy region, 3% does all of these things. Wow. I'm not going to cover them in this video, but they are very useful on the defense, not so much on the offense. Would you like to give up a piece of land for your piece of cause? You know what? You guys are going to hate me. I'm actually going to do it. I actually like that even though I'm no longer Finland anymore, well, I'm no longer Norway anymore, it still gives me the option to give the land up and it isn't just a straight declaration. There you go. Giving them the land, even though it's still our core. So we don't actually renounce the cores. Interesting. The German Reich is justifying on us. All right, you're going to go here, and then we're going to have a naval invasion from here to here. Yes. Then top that off, we're actually going to go for the division that I actually want and go with support AA. Winter logistics is an interesting one. It's basically just a bonus for fighting in snow. It's so situational and so niche, I wouldn't ever recommend it. But if you're Finland and you're fighting in the winter war, hey, maybe that's that one instance it would be worthwhile. Every other time, not so much. The Germans have declared war and they're pushing into us immediately. And man, they actually got some good firepower behind them too. So localized training center is done now, so we can recruit a spy. We're going to get a spy inside of Germany, which is a double agent, and build the network inside there. We're a little bit unprepared for this attack, to be honest with you. We would have been better off with the spy network like maybe like 6 months back. But we'll survive. We're doing okay for now. Secure Denmark, Sweden, and we can immediately go for now, crush Hitler. I think I might hold back on clicking it now because I'm actually not ready to attack them just this very second. Right now, they're actually hitting us really heavy with the cast strikes. Denmark holding. What madness is this? Top it off as well. Might need a little bit of oil just to keep the navy going to do shore bombardment, which is once again going to slow them down, which is the end product. I'm going to make a forward line for the field marshal. Everyone's going to make their way over there now. We are just holding just by the smidgiest amount. Improving tanks. That's something we're not really going to take advantage of. Also improving navy. Once again, I'm just going to queue a bunch of stuff up. Once again, particularly don't care about this at the moment. Lend-Lease from Bren. The Soviet Union would like to send us volunteers. That's interesting. Planes, the Mayo. I think all these bonuses for XP for the miles just came through a focus. Now we will do the hydro plants. We can make a few civilian factories, which we'll do inside of Sweden. Ooh, our economy. Oh, whoa, wow, wow, wow. Ooh, look at that. Isn't that a beautiful sight to see? To say you started off with, well, 2 usable civilian factories. Oh, nice, right? Yeah. Trotsky can go for infantry expert. So can the other guy. Logistics whiz is always worthwhile. All right, I feel really confident now. Yeah, I'm feeling really good. Top that off as 2. Let's go for mass mobilization. Remember, manpower is going to be the biggest kicker for us. We can't get that manpower. We're going to be in a problem. So I think I'm going to go service by requirement. Radio intelligence stacks some more intelligence, which gives us a net attack bonus. It's very small, but it's worth it. Radical, trade unionist, or permanent revolutionary. This is kind of pointless. Plus, we lose stability when we're at war. So radical trade unionist is the one for the extra construction. We can do war bonds. We can do worker conditions. Once again, we're sitting on political power, which is kind of pointless. So I'm just going to click all the buttons to gain war support. Okay, and ignore all the rest of this. What resources do we need? A little bit of rubber? Nah, we don't need the rubber. And we'll also make sure we just trim our production just a tiny little bit. Okay, so it is us versus the Reich. And things are going not so well. Once again, the biggest issue is their cast spam. It is pretty girthy. If I were to attack them at the same time, to attack their attack, it usually causes them to retreat and lose quite a lot of divisions. But we are still holding, so I'm still feeling pretty confident. It's going to be the catchphrase of this video. I'm still feeling pretty confident whilst losing. Another upgrade, yes. Interrogation techniques. The biggest issue with Germany is when they initially attack, they've got lots of cast, and they will cast you to death. So what you have to do is get your AA on your divisions and start chipping away at their cast numbers, and their offensive capabilities will drop dramatically. Okay, work on the AA a little bit more. So as you can see, that's the weak spot with my strat at the moment. Once again, their cast will get weaker and weaker over time, and they have to push into a kind of tight, narrow choke point here, which isn't very good for them. Interrogation. Another upgrade needed to get the next spy. We'll go for economy and civilian. And then we can go for the final one, which is a new Norway. Need the independent Norway to go for that modifier, which is this one. Which, once again, I'm very happy that all the bonuses you get as Norway are really good. You are a man down on your luck, but then all of a sudden you can turn things around. We're getting a load of manpower back. Of course, because we're on service by requirement now. It feels really bad that I'm getting this manpower back, but then I instantly lose it by trading more divisions. That really sucks. But we've got the manpower. It's what we need to do our attack capabilities. So to be fair, I shouldn't hold back. Yeah, and then next up, we'll crush Mr. H. Improve the machine guns with more reliability. We'll do that, because that means our guns will hold on to the damage for a longer duration, so it'll be worthwhile. for our production if we have that just little bit of extra reliability. The added bonus too is if we stack cast with this, we'll stay in battle for a really long time because we get lots of reinforce rate with the human wave offensive. Very effective against the AI if you get the composition just right. Prove that AA, keep producing them. Do we have any planes? We have a few left over. In that case, we'll send them to this region, the Danish Belt, and start naval striking. Another spy. Got a German one. That means that we gain the network strength 25% faster. And you can see how their attack potentials drop now because you can see we've got a big network. And you can see the impact of that here. You see that? The max planning factor is reduced by 80%. And the entrenchments drop by 4 points as well. Which just overall means that their attack capabilities are dropped dramatically. And their defensive capabilities are dropped slightly. Exercise to level 3 because I'm feeling so brave on the front line. Independent Norway. And then we go for a new Norway. We're independent, brave, self-sufficient, and now new. Oh, they managed to push us back as well. Impressive. Impressive, sir. I am impressed. Once again, the cast power is what's doing this. 1,000 casts. Like, now we've fixed the mines, you can see the potential of resources in the north. Look at all that steel and tungsten. And that's why you focus on guns and artillery as Norway, because you have so much potential. Doesn't look like they're going to break our northern location too here, which is really sad to see. But it is what it is. Let's do a naval invasion. This becomes more of a diversion than it actually feels like a real naval invasion. I feel like I'm going to lose troops here. Yeah, I actually am. This is a net loss. Oh dear. Okay. What's the plan from here? I think we have to retreat to the islands, the archipelago of Denmark. Yeah, we do. I don't want to do this, but I have to. I have to. Not what I want, but here we are. Oh, and Italy landing on us as well. The beauty of this is a perfect retreat. We'll be able to get out of here and build up an attack potential to counterattack when we have the big bonus against Germany. And you're about to see the attack bonus is just unbelievably broken. Hold on to your hats, boys. This defensive game is going to become an offensive game. New Norway. And now we are orange. Oh, and Finland. If you wanted you on the Axis, you could have just asked. Let's hoover up all the free bonuses now. So in this case, factories here. So denounce Germany. And right now, we're struggling to break. So I don't want to do it because I realize it only lasts for 2 years, but I'm going to crush Hitler now. And you're going to see the impact of this. It's going to be absolutely massive. Doctrines, don't forget. Got the spies into position now. That's good. More war bonds. Southern Sweden naval invasion. Hey, I'm going to hand it to AI here. They're really pulling their finger out. Strike force in these locations, therefore denying potential future naval invasions. And then we've got this guy. We're going to come to this location. Then from front line, get around them. Focus is almost done. We're about to hit a 40% attack bonus. Are you ready for this, lads? I hope you're ready because you're not prepared for this. No, no one is prepared for this. Go for some bonuses for our navy. So positions is just a good all-round one. So we'll do that. Don't forget to repair your ships as well. 20 days. We're almost there, lads. Once again, I don't think you're ready for this. Just let's remind you, this is a 40% attack bonus. 40%. Usually, when you assign attack bonuses, you're getting 5, maybe 10%. 40. Put you guys here for now. Don't need the full battle line anymore. And here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Crush Hitler. For 2 years, you will gain a 40% attack bonus against said nation, plus a 40% breakthrough bonus, plus stability, plus manpower, plus war support. We're going to be attacking the core territory too. Here, here, and here. And we're going to attack over all front lines as well. I don't think you're ready. I'm going to just zoom back and go hands off here and show you this. And I'm going to go convoy raiding at the same time because I'm really excited to see the Germans get absolutely obliterated here. There we go. And the pocket in Sweden is dissolved into nothing. The naval invaded on top of me here. Listen, if you want to, that's fine. But that's not going to be a good idea. Remember, this bonus only works against Germany. So the Italians here are going to go get a nice, easy ride. Plus, we've got some troops here. Turn around and go into Copenhagen. Don't forget to attack, boys. Meanwhile, in Finland, just dissolving. I'll admit, in Denmark, it's not going as well because breaking that strait and the strait penalty is a little bit difficult. No big surprises there. And we're just holding out. And guess who's back? Another naval invasion? Listen, I know you guys are probably going to be yelling in the chat. You're going to be saying, why aren't you defending your ports? Now, that is a good strategy, right? However, I'm kind of low on manpower. It's gotten a little bit better now. But hand on heart, I kind of like them to naval invade because I get to push them back into the ocean. And then if you look really closely, you can see the amount of damage that I've done is going to be massive. So I have no qualms of letting them do these silly little naval invasions. Meanwhile, the fleet has been dumpstered, but Finland has been chewed up and eaten. Italy has landed again. And then we're chewing them up in Norway again. Remember, every time they do these naval invasions, land and get pushed into the ocean, they lose the entirety of the army that did the naval invasion. Don't forget that. You're probably thinking, oh, this is a net loss for you. It really is not. There we go. Make a fallback line across all these, and then we could just pin this central location here. Then to top that off as well, we'll immediately turn around and go here, and then send a few over. And right, there we go. We'll close the pocket here. I'll have a little bit of an idea of how many troops were here. Yeah, they look like there were about 50 to 100,000. So there were 100,000 troops that were holding Finland are now gone. Don't forget about Romania that strategic is holding this one location. Goodbye. Then the Norwegian pocket. Then the second Swedish pocket, which we're now going to close once again. Then we're going to make a bunch of support equipment. Then we're going to take advantage of the Mile bonuses. Extra breakthrough. Well, breakthrough is something we're taking advantage of anyway. Soft attack for our guns. Definitely something worthwhile. AA wants to take advantage of breakthrough as well. We'll take advantage of that. Then to top that off as well, we're going for support equipment because we're going to make a very special version of this division that's going to have engineers on it. Do you know why we're doing engineers? Because they have a significant bonus to attacking over straits. See this one? Amphibious, which is applies to strait penalties as well. In this case, we'll make this a regular. Drop this to the bottom. Pop this to the top. Trotsky's army. Actually, it's not going to be Trotsky's army, actually. I think it'd be this guy's army. Yeah, it's going to be the special engineer version. And then we just basically counterattack here and close this pocket. And then the netting like this is that, once again, we're going to annihilate another army. I'm getting tongue twisted here. There's so much happening in this game. Sorry, guys, if you're like, whoa, he's talking absolute gobbledygook. It's because, man, this is like the most intense game I've played in ages. You can see here the German losses now. Is 1 million loss to the Northern Revolutionary Front. I hovered over this earlier and I was thinking, hang on a minute, Norway's not even in this list because they've got a weird wonky name now. 1 million troops lost. Italy has also lost 131k to us. And then once again, we are closing the pocket again. I'm going to make sure I right click on the port because I don't want to escape through the port. And then once again, Italy getting absolutely shreked. There we go. With the power of the engineers, we push through. Come on, please assign to the front line. There we go. AI goofing off at the wrong moment. Plus another pocket in the north. I have no problem closing that pocket again. In this situation, it is really worthwhile to have maintenance companies because if you're going to play the strategy of letting them land and then closing the pockets, maintenance is worthwhile because of the capture ratio. Meaning you are not only eliminating the enemy's army size, manpower, and equipment, but you're hoovering up a little bit of equipment as well, which is good in the long run for building an army off the enemy's equipment. Attack. Go. Go. Offensive doctrine. Go, go, go. Now, we're going to finally denounce Germany. Is this what denouncing looks like? Yes, it is. And once again, I blinked and I missed the massive pockets that I just formed here. Once again, nice. You thought you could hold this land, right? You thought you could defeat Denmark. I mean, Norway. Not today. Okay, we're going to close all these front lines and then just make a big fat front line here and do this. And then Control B, everyone to the front line. Off you go. And at the same time, I want to do a strike force in this location to project naval supremacy to try and hinder naval invasions. They probably still will happen, so it might be a good idea to leave one army behind just to hoover up any naval invasions, which I love naval invasions, right? As you can see, the amount of damage that we can do to them is usually very limited if you are playing as a nation like Norway with a more limited division, but in this circumstance, as you can see, it's pretty devastating. Just due to the fact that you've got that massive attack bonus. At the same time, I want to make this division look a little bit differently because it's the one that can do attacking over straight. So we've got like an engineer, like a spade. That'll do. Denouncing Germany by invading them. Prepare for war. Prepare for war. Come on. Come on. Just be aware that when you're attacking, that's when you get the big bonus to your breakthrough and attack potential. Be aware this bonus doesn't apply for the defensive. So if they counterattack you, they're going to probably demolish you. But on the offensive, you're winning. So when you're winning, keep winning. Because if you pause for a second in this situation, you might get stuck. In that case, you're not going to keep your offensive potential. You can see here a supply depot is over capacity, so I'm just going to build a railway there twice. Also, when you're making attacks, try to aim for the supply depots, because you can see the limiter is here, is the supply. You can see here, pushing for Hanover is going to be the win for me. I'm trying to make a big push around to grab that victory point. Hanover, another supply depot, grab. There we go. Supply is a bit messy still because we're getting intercepted here with our convoys. If we tell them not to go through here and go through the land routes, I think the railways are connected. So here we have lines here with convoys getting intercepted. Ideally, we want it to be a railway route from Oslo, our capital, all the way here. As you can see, it's disconnected because of the supply. So what I'm going to do is build it up from my capital. So from here is 1. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then here again, 5. Ah, this is the broken bit. There's no railway between these two. There we go. And that's why it's been forced to use convoys from Malmo to the German port. And they were connected them like, look at that. Just one bridge here has alleviated this massive supply problem. And all of a sudden, I'm in a winning position now. Oh, this feels good. Damn, this feels good. Prepare for war. Yeah. Don't forget, this bonus expires August 1942. It only lasts for 2 years, so take advantage of it. It doesn't last forever, so savor the moment. Boom, off we go. Attack. Ah, just demolishing them now. Supply was the biggest factor. So here's the big pro tip for this video, boys. Build a railway from Copenhagen to Malmo, Sweden, whatever. That's the big meme. Oh my god, we're absolutely demolishing them. I told you, a 40% attack bonus is very, very good. Exceptionally good. Maybe a little bit too good. Hey, listen, I like it when a nation feels playable by having really worthwhile bonuses. I'm not against that. This feels playable. Deploy 2 further armies. Yes. 2 full armies. And they're going to join the front line. Not fully trained, not ready. But you know what the best training field is? The battlefield. Off you go. Spies aren't placed anymore, so replace them. And they can take advantage of the entrenchment penalty that the Germans will suffer, giving you more offensive capabilities. Yes. I have issue with guns here, so I'm just going to switch around the production a little bit here. You will find that you will lose a lot of equipment as you push, and the reason why you're losing equipment is because you're capturing new lands and you have to add divisions to these regions to hold down resistance. So that's why you find like, well, all of a sudden I was okay with guns and all of a sudden I've got massive issues. What's happened? Well, it's either you lost them through your divisions or you've lost them through capturing territory. Can we buy from the market? Oh yes, we can. And what can we buy? Not a lot. Yeah, not a lot at all. Guns. Oh, there's a few potentials here. Paraguay doesn't have a trade connection. Frustrating. And boom. And boom. Just a heads up, what I'm doing here is buying as much as I can to be delivered in one shipment. More than likely is one month. And once again, I'm not planning to like cut down all the deficit of 20,000 guns in one go. I'm just like chipping away at it by building those guns. And as you can see, importing guns as well. Why not both? Exactly, both. If you don't want to place your spies, just stack them on the capital. It's less effective. However, it still builds a network. And there we go. Germany's been annexed. Wow. 2 front lines. Going to divide them up now. Move into position. Control H. Off you go. Tear through East Prussia, Slovakia. So, as you can see, there's a bit of urgency with the way I attacked because I knew that this bonus wasn't going to last forever. So my mindset was like, well, let's do as much damage as I can within the short term and therefore cause havoc. That's exactly what we did. Be aware that if you've got a neutral front line like this, make sure you move your troops around. Otherwise, you'll find that they'll get locked into a front line that doesn't have any actual fighting on, which is kind of a waste of a division, isn't it? 5 speed, let's go. But be aware that if there is a bit of neutral territory that you don't have access to, and the AI creeps into it, they can kind of try and snake you through your own territory. So you might want to move troops back in that circumstance. Alternatively, just ask for access. But the downside of asking for access is that territory will then be handed, in this case, to Poland, that they rightfully own, as if you were kind of like a member of their faction, which we're not. So heads up, we're not actually a member of their faction. Romania, Hungary. Bunch of divisions here attached to a front line that has nothing going on. We go here. Occupied territory, transfer it. Yeah, sure. Classic event for the Italian Civil War. Split in half. Organizing the front lines when nations capitulate is probably the hardest thing in OI4. Just look, zoom out on the front lines. Look how many divisions are assigned. In this case, 29 here, 6 here, and just modify them with the amount of divisions that you think you're going to need. Once again, if you see divisions attached to a front line that's not being used, unassign them, then delete the front line, but only unassign them after you've moved them off the front line. Otherwise, they'll just be sitting with an exclamation mark saying that I don't have an order assigned, I'm just sat here. Which, once again, is a waste of your equipment. What's the point of a division that's not actively fighting, right? My favorite thing to do is just to right-click and push into Sicily, because that usually will end the war. Go, go, go. Please, go. Australia. I thought it was Italy. Yeah, I thought it was Italy that owned this. I was so confused. I was like, hang on, this looks like Italy. And I right-click and it's like Australia. I'm like, okay. So right-click on them, ask for access, and then just march into the territory and just do the job for them. Do the dirty for them. Once again, we've got troops assigned to a front line here. There's nothing happening here and here. Move to the front line where things are actually happening. Romania's gone. And then Bulgaria's left. We're going to right-click on the capital and just do it. Is that it? Is that everyone? And that's it! Boom! I'm feeling Greater Norway coming on. Incredibly ahistorically, but I'm feeling it. Rob the Navy. It's not perfect, but it's doable. There's something about Norwegian Germany that seems kind of cool, even though it's not Germany. Pretty sure that's Czechia. You know the final part of this, right? Stalin. The Winter War. So this bonus isn't as good as the German one. As you can see here, the attack bonus is 30%, but 30% attack, 30% breakthrough. It's not 40%, but it's still pretty good. I don't understand why the Soviet one isn't as high. The Soviet's still pretty big daddy. I don't know. Anyway, supply depot in the center. It's going to take so long to build. It's probably not going to be worth it. Top it off as well. Max out that railways. Yeah, here, 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 and here, and here. And shift all those railways to the top. Let's maximize the amount of attack potential here. We'll go for a kind of a 24 width. We'll convert everyone into the one with the engineers. But Dave, why don't you spend your political power? Because it serves basically no purpose for the game that I'm playing today. There you go, max my doctrines out. Operational reserves HP, that's nice. We're all arriving. Convert everyone to the engineer version. Exercise everyone on the front line. Bit of a supply issue in the middle, but it's not the end of the world. You know what? I actually want to attack immediately. I don't want to give an opportunity to take a breath. Because what happens is when you've got a justification against a country, the AI will put divisions on the front line, and I can see them actively moving them. But if I attack before they put the divisions on the front line, they can't build entrenchment. In this case, we just completely demolish them. Remember, these are all the attack bonuses stacked. So as you can see here, absolutely chewing through them. Control B to the front line and attack the ports. There aren't any ports now. The north has been locked out. Go, go, go. Leningrad! Break them. No, not quite. And we push and we move and we build supply as we go. Connect up the railways. Spies. Be a shame not to build a collab government, wouldn't it? Leningrad! We got them, boys! We got them. Opportunity for encirclement here. I'm going to run through the center, connect up to the Arctic Ocean, and potentially encircle a bunch of divisions in the north. Can we get there? Yeah, looks doable. We got a few. A handful. Okay, we're losing mobilization here and actually ticking manpower, so I'm going to have to go back to service by requirement. Once again, manpower is still an issue, even when you get away from Norway and form a massive Scandinavia. You see, we get a massive boost of power whenever we build a bunch of ports. So just keep building ports, building railways. Supply is the big enemy. To be honest with you, at this point in the game, we'll be better off with logistics. So better late than never, right? Oh, wow, a better breakthrough here. Our supply's gotten a lot better. Okay, supply is always going to be a nightmare in the north. Build ports. And then attach them to railways. Rinse and repeat. Also, prioritizing repairs. I always forget about the repair queue. You assign civs to this, and then the result of that is it automatically prioritizes repairs. You see this? Repairs go first. Repairs first, and then after that, focus on the other stuff. There's a balance in that between you don't want to assign too much to repairs because your repair queue will kind of keep filling up anyway. Norwegian tank program. Adventurous times. Approach Japan for the armor program. It's going to be interesting. We instantly get into war tank development immediately. Not going to argue. Can't argue if something's free, right? This is the big dilemma here. Is it better to focus on repairs for railways and things? Or is it best to focus on your own initial construction for your repairs? I don't know. This is a tough question, you know. I feel like eventually I've catched up on the repair queue, but now I need to focus on my own internal supply. it's a hard one. It's hard to gauge what is the best one at that specific time. Okay, I think we need to take a breath for supply reasons. And when you take a breath, you focus on all your initial repairs and beelining to the supply depots. There's one here, so we're going to focus on that now. Here and then here. And also focus on your logistics, which we're having massive problems with that now. There we go. Grab the supply depot. Here. There aren't any others on the front line. No. And we focus on our manpower as well. One thing to get manpower, if you need it in an emergency, you can just basically grab it from garrisons. It ejects it into your armed forces. Give it maybe a few days for it to reinforce. 3, 2, 1. And then you can go back to local police force. Better late than never, though. Improve production lines. These are focuses I rarely go for. 15% extra production efficiency cap. That's amazing. And 10% production efficiency growth. That's also really good. Okay, we've reached a stagnation period here. Can we request garrison support from Germany? No. Manpower has become our bottleneck. I can't even believe it. Do we adult serve it? And do we buy equipment off the market? Just need the guns again. Just all about the guns from the Italians. 13 civs, 1 delivery. That seems about right. And also I forgot that we have Italy as a puppet as well. Are they in our war? Request land lease of artillery and guns. Nice. Don't forget that this bonus is not permanent. It will expire in 1944, so we've got 18 months left. I'm starting to think that the right strat was to go for ideological loyalty as early as possible and take advantage of the ticking manpower. Yeah, I'm starting to believe that more and more as every day goes on. Manpower is always a problem for Scandinavia, and even when you form unified Scandinavia, it's still a problem. It never stops being a problem. We have the new axis of the Balkans. The NATO has invaded the Balkans. Nothing good can come of this. Okay, we've catched up on AA and guns. Manpower is still a little bit of a problem. Artillery is a bit of a problem too, but we're just waiting it out to get the logistics sorted before we make our second push. Also, another port here would be good. In fact, let's make it 2. Logistics. Meanwhile, the Treaty of Bucharest. That looks like the death of Japan. Yes, it is. Democratic Japan. The war in the West and the East is ended. And now just the war for the Central East. Little change just to fix the supply issues. We're going to get rid of the engineers. Swap them out for the logistics just for the short term. Field Marshal, we'll go for Thorough Planner for 10% attack, and recovery rate's also pretty good. Okay, when the AI won't build railways the way you want and you have to manually click them across the map, that repair queue is pretty chunky. Build the railways. Trotsky now can hold another 6 divisions because he's a skilled staffer, so I'll move them from this guy who's less trained to the more trained guy. Plus, I also forget about bold attack. Always do that one early. The earlier you get it, the better you can have generals level up. Bonuses that are a little bit late, but I'll take advantage of them. Aluminium, something we're not taking advantage of. Oh, but Spain likes aluminium. Okay, so it's all worth it at the end of the day. That 1 civ from Spain made everything worthwhile. Logistics 2 is followed by Logistics 3. Okay, so I have had a lapse of judgment here. I just remembered that this bonus doesn't last forever, so I just want to continue my attack now. But 30% is desperately needed. Just sitting here on my hands just seems like a waste of time, so let's not do that anymore. I guess when I'm on an offensive phase and I'm attacking, I guess putting the repair queue high is worth it because I'm actively removing the repair queue and keeping the offensive going. It does kind of feel like it's worth it. I will admit, though, when I'm so far away from the front line and I've got a supply depot and I have to build one here, that does slow me down massively as well. Building the railway to the ports. Go, go, go. Yes, go. And we're building another collab state too. Yes. Goes without saying, but late game Hoi 4 is always about logistics wizard and maxing out logistics companies. Standard. It's the standard way of playing. Have we got a max collab state? No, 2 ways. It's because we've not got a big enough state to continue. So the easiest way of doing that is to put the spies on one area on the capital, stack them nice and high, and you can go for the next collab when it maxes their spy network up. Remember, the reason we do a collab state is it decreases their surrender limit by 18%, meaning we don't have to push into the middle of Asia to get rid of them. Is anyone at war with the Soviet Union? No, it's just Scandinavia and Iran. More manpower, more equipment, deploy more divisions, head to the front. Remember, the wider the front line gets, the less power you can concentrate into one area, and that's why you kind of have to deploy more divisions to spread the power out more equally. Be aware, though, if the supply gets really bad to the Arctic north of Russia and Siberia, And you can see the supply just all red here. So your offensive capabilities are limited and you're going to lose a lot of equipment. So you want to focus your offensive to the south. But right now, I'm feeling very confident with my attack. So I just don't care. Become the Spy Master. The only other nation in my faction is Paraguay. Does it really matter? Evidently not, because it doesn't give us an extra spy for becoming the Spy Master. It was 50 political power down the drain. Well, once again here, the divisions aren't that awesome. They're just okay. The brilliance of this strategy is the fact that I'm doing so much damage with this Crush Stalin modifier, and which is going to last me for another 3-4 months. Which, in that case, Stalin will be dead. There'll be nothing to be crushed. Oh, that was earlier than expected. Remember, collab state has an impact. Boom. If you want to have a little nice adventurous war against the allies, just plan it out by having a few front lines spread out in locations which border nations that are in the allies. But where other nations can join the allies at any point. So extra artillery, big artillery. This is a super ineffective template. Really good stats, but it will burn through equipment at lightning speed. Not recommended, but I'm going to do it anyway. You know what? To take it one step further, to make it absolutely disgusting, anti-air battalion. Oh yeah. Logistics 3 is followed by logistics 4. Now you're in a position where you can only project your naval power westward of the Baltic, which is good because having being in the Baltic is a bit of a pain in the ass. Move everyone here. Where do you make buildings? Everywhere. I've been embargoed by France. Oh no. They're trained. They're reinforced. We can go for Mountaineers. And the beauty of Mountaineers is it gives us access to Rangers, which gives us an attack bonus into mountains and other terrains. I have a war goal on the German Republic. Will they join the Allies? Yes, they will. Off you go. And so will Poland. No, they won't. Okay. I'll justify on Poland then. Poland's like, invaded again? No! There we go. Poland joined the war foolishly just to be gobbled up by me. Hold the Slovak state. Hang on a minute. I've got that as a puppet. Oh, I thought I asked for it as a puppet as one big hole. I guess it didn't. Join in the war. Join in, boys. I always activate and reactivate the plan, thinking that's going to make a difference. I don't think it does. The Northern Far East. Naval invasion. Who is that? Oh, it's Japan. Oh, it's America. Oh, no. They're just grabbing the island. Okay. Meanwhile, distraction to the east. Chinese Civil War. Who will win? The Reds or the Yellows? Vote below. What a mess. Be aware of front lines might be a bit messy because I just realized there was a bunch of divisions that weren't moving. They were all stuck on this weird front line here. Finish up Poland, please. Today, please. I forgot as well that I've got Puppet of Italy as well. Just falling out of my head. Poland rip for the second time. Transylvania gone. Poland gone. Germany gone. Yugoslavia next. France gone. Yep, that is the beginning of a Northern Revolution. Beginning, end of... Oh, and Turkey joined the war too. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, it's one thing to absorb all of Scandinavia and core it. Now, that is one thing. But the next big thing is being able to take out Germany without getting a sweat. And invading the Soviet Union with barely any losses and big gains. It is something, yeah? But do you know who the real winners are? The heroes? The people who are subscribed to my channel. I love you. And also the names on the screen right now. You are special, and thanks for becoming a member, and thank you for taking advantage of early access videos. I love you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.